to Movie Hunt. I'm your host, Libby Hunt, along with my producer and co-host, Kevin E.
Hey, Libby, how are you?
Great, how are you? Happy Friday.
I'm good. Oh, thank you. Happy Friday to you as well.
Thank you. We missed y'all last week, so we're glad to be back.
It feels like forever.
I know, and it's only been 2 weeks, but we are so excited today to have in the studio a real-life celebrity, Jonathan Brownlee. Jonathan is CEO of the Dallas International Film Festival. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks
Great
for
to be
being
here.
here. We want to hear all about the festival. So, but before we get to the Dallas International Film Festival,
Yes.
Jonathan and I met about 4 years ago.
4 years ago, yeah.
On the set of Occupy Texas.
That's right. Which I keep telling you, you were spectacular.
My one line is.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you have one line or 100 lines. You were great.
You're
right.
so sweet.
Yeah, right?
It was fun. I love that little film. But you were producer on that film, right?
Yeah, I was. It was the first feature I produced here in Dallas. I'm a transplant from Canada, and so I met these two great guys, Gene Gallerano and Jeff Barry, and they came into town, and Steve Stotchel said, hey, you should go meet Jonathan. He'll help you produce this film. And of course, we did. We ultimately drank too much beer on top of the Nilo Hotel, and I agreed to do it, and it was great. It was the first one we've done here. We've done, I think, 4 or 5 features here now.
I know, and I love Gene Gallerano. He is the kindest young man. Y'all, he's a Booker T. Washington graduate, and has gone on to LA and New York, and has a little film career, and he wrote this film.
And he's married and got a little baby now.
He's married to Bianca from All My Children.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Stellar, what's her first name? So cute. I love his wife.
Oh, and she's a twin.
And she's a twin, and they're in everything.
They are, yeah.
But Gene is so sweet. That was fun. I met him through Bettina Barrow, my sister-in-law's sister, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But we did Occupy together. So that was fun. And
that was
then
fun.
So I was looking at your IMDb. You also did 3 Days in August with.
Yeah, we directed that film, I think it was 2 years ago now, that we shot here with Barry Bostwick and Mary Hartley and Meg Foster, and it was a collaboration with the festival, because this is before I was CEO.
Yeah.
So it was just, we wanted to do a screenwriting competition, and we did an international screenwriting competition, and the guys won, and then we made the film, and then we'd already done a deal with Studio Movie Grill to do a national release on the film in theaters. So then we basically ran around the country. Shannon Kincaid and I. It's loosely based on Shannon's life, and she's an amazing. I met her at Occupy during Occupy Texas. We shot in her house, and that's how I met Shannon. And then she said, "Hey, I've got this idea for a film," and obviously I get that a lot. But then she told me her story. I was like, "This is amazing. We have to do this." So. It's amazing how you meet wonderful people.
It is. And everybody in Dallas in the business is so nice. Unlike
other places, right? Yeah, no, I call people in Texas positively Canadian.
I know.
Right?
Yes, and he's a Canadian. Yeah. But okay, tell them about how. Well, wait, we'll go to your other movie in a minute. But you were in Dallas, and you met your Dallas wife here at a movie, right?
I did actually at the Angelica Theater.
Okay.
So, beautiful woman, had no popcorn.
Right.
Travesty of justice in my book. So obviously I had to go give her popcorn, and the rest, as they say, is sort of history.
Oh, I love it. See, that's isn't that a good story, Kevin?
That is a very good story.
And that kind of segues into how we rate things here.
Yes.
Oscar-worthy, popcorn-worthy, half-popped, and bag full of kernels.
All right.
Isn't that cute?
I love that.
So I would give Occupy Texas, a film we did together, popcorn-worthy.
I would too. It's a wonderful festival indie. There's some great performances in it. Janine Turner is in it, and Perry Gilpin is in it. Lorelei Linkletter is in it. And actually, I was just in New Orleans and saw Cappy Elvire, who plays the other daughter.
Oh, she was cute.
She's so great. So I mean, I think it was her first film, and she just really crushed it.
I know. Great. I hope she'll get some more work.
Should we give Jonathan the full popcorn-worthy experience?
Oh yeah.
Let us show you. Wait, which way do I go? Look.
What do we do? Okay, I'm ready.
Look.
Okay, I'm looking. Let me see the popcorn.
It doesn't sprout out, but look, that's popcorn worthy. Isn't that cute?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then if it's a bag full of kernels, it's only half, and if it's
we got them all.
Got it.
Well, we'll show you. Look.
Okay, there it is. Got it. Popcorn worthy.
Do you love our music?
Yeah. Did you write that, Libby?
No, I totally wrote that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But also you did Decoding Annie Parker, and that had Helen Hunt in it, right?
Yeah, that was my first feature before I moved. Well, actually, I think I just moved here, and then I had to go back to Los Angeles. I've been in television my whole life, and so this film, it's an amazing story about a woman named Annie Parker, who is actually from Toronto. It's about the discovery of the breast cancer gene with Dr. Mary Claire King and this amazing woman, Annie Parker. And so Helen Hunt plays Dr. Mary Claire King, Samantha Morton plays Annie Parker, but it's Helen Hunt, Samantha Morton, Aaron Paul, Alice Eve, Richard Schiff, Bob Gunton, like just an just an incredible.
And this was one of your
cast.
first things.
It was my first feature as a producer. Yeah.
Producer.
Yeah.
Now, have you directed?
No, my first film direct. I was the oldest director in the history of mankind when I directed 3 Days in August. So, but I've directed a lot of television, but that was my first feature.
Okay. Well, and he's done TV. He's also an actor and a Broadway star and an opera singer. I mean, he's the Renaissance man. But y'all, this is my
Very, very
favorite
diverse.
thing about Jonathan
Wow.
ever.
Wow.
Is that
Wow.
he was in a Seinfeld episode. One Seinfeld
Just
episode?
one Seinfeld episode.
Do you know the one where Elaine's doing that crazy dance?
At the office party, yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
He's
Yeah.
the boyfriend.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm one of an elite group of like 62 actors who played her boyfriend over the course of this series. But that turned in. She actually won the Emmy for that because of me, of course, because I was in the episode.
Yes.
Clearly, but no, it was just such a fun set, and you never know which episodes are going to become these quintessential episodes. And they played that scene as trailers and for years.
With
and
you
years.
standing behind her.
Yeah, with me right there. So I mean, I think I bought my first house in LA based on the residuals.
Just a
of that thing.
residual.
Yeah, it was
Isn't that
crazy.
awesome?
You just never know.
I think you and I talked about this once. I don't know who their casting person at Seinfeld was, but everybody they cast was perfect in every single episode.
It was.
Don't you agree? Do you know the casting director?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
Because
her
like
name, but
you're just like they nailed it every
Yeah.
time, and a lot of those people that had little bit parts went on to do other great things.
yeah,
Almost
it's-
everybody.
Well, that whole show. I mean, they were so gracious. When you come in as a guest star or a co-star, you basically come in for 1 day or 2 days,
Right.
and you don't know anybody, and they're just so nice. Like it was still shot in front of a live audience,
Mm-hmm.
so. And actually Jerry would go out before the taping and do some comedy and warm the audience up, and then you go in and just have a lot of fun with them, and
Yes.
they're very gracious on set.
I just don't know if I've ever loved anything more. So that's so much fun. I'm about to buy myself this set replica of
set
Jerry.
replica of
You can
Jerry's
buy
apartment.
it.
Yeah.
That's what a fan I am. So you
Wow.
don't understand. I'm like standing next to, like, this is fun for me. I feel a little starstruck here.
Oh, please.
That you got to rub shoulders with those people.
Very
Great.
cool.
They were great.
Okay, we got to talk about this, Kevin, about Jonathan too, and then we'll move on to Diff. He helped produce. He's a big horror fan.
Oh
Phil.
yes.
I am
Puppet
huge.
Master.
Oh, wow.
Are you loving
A
that?
cult classic, for sure.
Yeah, so there's a company here called Cinestate, and the principal is Dallas Saunier, and Dallas, very successful Hollywood producer. This is, I think, is his 30th feature, but he was from Highland Park, so he moved his
Right.
family back here to raise his kids. His family's amazing. Shannon, his wife's amazing. And we have sort of a small community of real filmmakers here who are actually producing things and doing things. And so, we met, we sat down, and I liked him instantly. As you know in our industry, in about the first 30 seconds whether somebody's for real or not.
Right.
And we both clearly know how to make films. And a lot of the stuff Cinestate does, they did Bone Tomahawk, they did Brawl in Cell Block 99 with Vince Vaughn. We just shot Incident at Sparrow Creek. They just shot Dragged Across Concrete up in Vancouver, but they do a lot of action, horror, that kind of stuff, and my boat is more in the drama and
But they're
comedy
based
stuff.
here.
They're based here.
Which is so cool.
So he's like, look, we want to make Puppet Master here. Would you help me produce it?
But
I was
it's
like,
Puppet Master like 4.
it's so Cinestate bought the franchise, so they
Okay.
own Puppet Master, and they made 12 of the original Puppet Masters.
Wait, there's been that many? Kevin,
12
did you know
of
that?
them.
No, I did not know that.
Kevin's like, he loves science fiction and he loves horror films, and I kind of like them too. But so are you a Puppet Master fan? kind of.
I've seen the original. It's not that I know there's that many though. I'm a huge fan of going through these kind of anthologies where they
Yep.
have tons of sequels. I mean, every year I watch every Halloween. I watch the Friday the 13th movies all the way through, so I'm always looking for another one. I mean, I've even seen most of the Hellraisers and the Children of the Corn.
Right.
People don't realize there's like
Yeah.
10 of those each.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely want to check that out.
So this new one is what? Is it?
So it's a reboot, but it's
Okay.
new characters,
Oh, very
it's a
cool.
new story. I mean, there's some of the original puppets. I can't give too much away, right? Although we had the world premiere in New Orleans at the Overlook Film Festival a couple of weekends ago, and it's going to play a Diff on
good.
for the first Friday night.
Oh,
so,
we should go.
but it's like I was like, okay, I'll do this. I had so much fun shooting this film. And we did try to do most of the effects in camera. it was a blast. It really was.
That's a great thing to add to your resume.
I'm a movie fan who does not hate on reboots. I always get
I'm fine
excited
with it.
for them.
Yeah,
I like
Yeah.
that.
I'm excited about
I mean, and the reviews have already said, look, this is the best Puppet Master ever made, which it
Yay.
probably is. So.
And you're a producer on it.
Yeah, I'm
Second.
producer on it, yeah.
Well, Kevin and I have talked about this a lot of times. Horror films just do well. I don't know why. Like, if you go to Netflix, there's so many to
Yeah.
choose from.
Tons.
And
Yeah.
have you seen A Quiet Place?
It's amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I see everything, and as you do too. I
Yeah,
see 3
yeah,
films a week. I
yeah.
was blown away.
It's-
But y'all, they're making a second one. They just announced it yesterday. or
Of
the
course,
day
Oh,
of
yeah.
Yes,
course.
it's
I hope
already-
they don't ruin it. You know, that's what happens with
I
these
know.
sequels. And the reason they make them is because the first one did great. So quick, get another one out of the box. So people.
Yep.
It left room to have another one, like an Alien that might
Right.
Anything
be okay.
innovative, though, you look at your Saw, your Insidious, your
Right.
Conjuring. As
Right.
soon as you have one, or even Paranormal Activity, they just want to crank one out.
Yeah, Paranormal
immediately
Activity
after.
46,
And
right?
it
So
turns
I-
into one of those things where every year there's another one, and you just don't take it seriously anymore. I hope they don't do that.
I just hope they don't take it away from John Krasinski, and because he just he's dead in it, but spoiler,
Yeah, that's a pretty
Libby!
big spoiler.
spoiler, but it's been out long
Well,
enough.
I mean,
know,
you
it's
can
true.
totally have other characters and stories that take
Yeah.
place in
But
this
he
universe.
could. I want to see him directing and writing it because wow.
But it's all about the script, though, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's the problem with sequels. Is often I'm like, quick, let's get a sequel out. So they write a script really quickly, and the script's not good. It always starts
Yeah.
with a good script. It's a great script, A Quiet Place.
I
Great script.
just couldn't believe it. Okay, well, all right. You're here for Diff.
I am.
Here's their new stuff. Tell us. Okay, am I on camera here, Kevin?
And you
Oh,
got-
sorry.
And you
There
got
you go.
the, and you can hold the poster up too. If you
Oh,
want
we
to do
need
that.
Diff in the back too.
Let me get you.
But what
Yeah.
Jonathan did? I need to move out of the way.
You're good.
There we go. See, look how cute. Okay, he has taken all the Dallas. Oh, like the robot. What do you have here?
So this was designed by some amazing artists at Commerce House, and really what we gave them carte blanche, but I gave them some direction. I'm like, look, here's what I'm thinking, and this is what this is how we started. The idea, obviously, here's all these iconic figures from Dallas that we drive by and we look at and we take our photos with, and we're always looking at them. So what they're doing, there's a big eyeball, right? So what they're doing is they're coming to see what we're doing.
Right.
So really, it's Dallas and the world. The world and Dallas are all coming to see what we're doing. So it's pretty fun.
This is good.
So we've taken it and we've used line art
Yeah.
with some of the characters for our postcards, and the gift bags will have line art on it, and so it's it's
cool.
really fun. Super
I want
talented.
to hang this in
I need
my...
to get some framed Diff artwork put
Yeah,
up
you
in the
need
studio.
this.
Yeah.
You need this hang up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for
So
sure.
film festivals, y'all. I want you, Jonathan, to tell us about the film festival. But I love film festivals because I talked about this with your last PR guy. We just brought up his name, John Wildman.
Yeah.
I love independent films. They're my favorite films, and that's why I like film festivals to happen because I want to see these independent films. And what John Wildman, he called them, they're broccoli films. Like they don't really taste good, but you need to have them, And I don't mind
They're
being
good for you.
Right.
I don't like some of these independent films at festivals make you uncomfortable.
Sure.
The subject matter, but I
Right.
don't mind that. I feel like it's expanding my mind. And
Well, it's art. I mean,
it's art.
it's the idea of letting people explore, like on a canvas, and it just happens to be a 90-minute canvas as opposed to
Right.
a painting or something. And you're right. I mean, and that's how filmmakers get their start. Oftentimes is
It's festivals.
short films and festivals and making their first feature, and it's really important. Festivals are an important part of the entertainment food chain.
Totally. Well, and they're directors that need to make certain films, and they wouldn't get to if
Right.
there were not festivals.
Right, and I mean we call it one for the meal and one for the reel,
Right.
right? So I make some films because it's my living and it's what I do, and then I make some films that I have to make, or I'm never
Right.
going to sleep again, right?
I know.
So, yeah.
I think it's great. So tell them the festival's May 3rd.
May 3rd through 10th. Yeah, so we're just around the corner. This is my first year on this side of the camera, so to speak. I've had 4 features or whatever in the festival, and I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm passionate about it, obviously, because I'm a filmmaker, and I want to support other filmmakers. It's one
Right.
thing I love about what we do. But the Dallas International Film Festival starts May 3rd, goes through May 10th. Where the majority of our films are all in West Village at the Magnolia Theater. I wanted to make, we've sort of dropped down to 7 days as opposed to 10 or 11. So we're more
That's better.
more compact. We're almost all in one place. So almost all the films are at the Magnolia. we're doing all of our family films at Studio Movie Grill with the Spring Valley location, which is Saturday and Sunday. So that way people don't have to go, oh, gee, where am I going? There's 15 theaters, and you're going to the Magnolia to see it. So
That's great.
And there's great restaurants there. Our West Village partner, Julius Pick and Pack, and his whole group have just been like so welcoming and just like, hey, what can we do? And we've got some storefronts activated. So Sony, my friends at Sony are coming in and doing a Sony pop-up, 4K pop-up theater. We've got a great Star Power is building out our Filmmakers Lounge. It's going to be.
Where is that going to be?
So
West
it's
Village?
all in West Village. So the Star Power Lounge will be right next to Public School 214 on the other side of the trolley tracks.
Okay.
So right next to where the new Canopy Hilton is going up.
Okay.
And right next to that will be the festival box office.
Okay.
And then the Sony pop-up is directly next to the Starbucks across from the Magnolia.
Okay, so if I want to get tickets, I go to
So
DallasFilm.org.
DallasFilm.org. So you can fest in a couple of different ways. You can buy what I call your all-you-can-eat buffet, your Star Pass, which go to DallasFilm.org, buy a pass. That gets you into opening night, closing night, everything. But it also gets you into the Filmmakers, the Star Power Filmmakers Lounge. You can eat and drink for free all day long.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm definitely
done, and done, right, Kevin?
But
Yes.
tell me why, do I have to go pick up a badge?
You do, but so you basically order it online
Right.
and you pick it up at the box office the first day
And
you
it's
walk
easy
in.
to get to that box office. It's
really-
close to the theater.
It's literally 30-second walk.
Okay.
So everything is really compact.
I'm lazy.
Yes, me too.
Oh,
I
come
like
on.
everything to be
You're going to be
readily
sitting watching movies.
accessible.
You got to stretch your legs a little bit,
That's
right?
true.
You got a good point there.
Or you can buy individual tickets. You basically go on and you look at the schedule or the guide, and you're like, hey, I want to see that film. You click on it, you buy your tickets, it populates a shopping cart like going to Amazon.
Right.
And then you check out, and you can print your tickets there, or you can get them when you go to the box office.
That's great. This is another thing people might not know about festivals that I like is that after the film, usually some of the stars or the director or producers are there to talk about it. So
Right.
will that be the case at this festival?
That will be. So opening night, we usually do one film. This year, we're doing 3 different films opening night. So we're the North American premiere for Rob Reiner's new film. So Rob will be here.
Ooh.
It's called Shock and Awe. Rob Reiner, Woody Harrelson, James Marsden.
Oh, very cool.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh my gosh,
So-
I love Tommy Lee
I know.
Jones.
So that's playing. He'll be here. Then Theater 2 will be a Mark Turtletaub film called Puzzles, written by Oren Moverman. Really beautiful film. And then Theater 3 will play a 1985, which is the Texas film that was shot here by Yen Tan, which is a beautiful film as well. And then later in the evening, there's a shorts block. But basically, we're staggered those films about 30-minute apart, and then everybody comes out into the mosh pit of the party afterwards.
How fun. Oh, you're going to be so exhausted after all
Oh,
this.
it's going to be great. So West Village is closing all the streets down for us internally, and we're having a big street party
This is
that evening.
so much fun.
It's
Oh
going to
my
be great,
God.
and we've got a music stage this year.
Oh, good.
Well, we have all these great documentaries that are about music. We've got the one Loud Crazy Love, which is selling out like Loud Crazy Love.
Yeah.
About the guitar player from Korn, and he will be here. We have Bone Thugs and Harmony, a famous rap couple, group from Cleveland. They'll be here because there's a documentary
Definitely
about
from
them.
my era. For
From
sure.
your era, right?
Yeah.
We're also doing a special presentation of the film Roxanne, which played at Sundance. We're bringing
heard
that
about
in
that.
Friday nights about Roxanne Shante.
Right.
And the company I Am Other, which is Pharrell Williams' company that produced it,
Okay.
is flying in the real Shante. Mimi Valdez would be here. She also produced Hidden Figures and Dope. She'll be here.
gosh.
And then we're going out to the stage outside, and Roxanne Shante is going to perform, and we're having all these local female rap artists and DJs all performing on the stage that night.
You're doing great as
It's gonna be
CEO.
fun.
I can already tell.
It's really fun. And Sunday night, we've got a film called The Independents, which is about a band called The Sweet Remains, and they will be here after the film.
So you do have a lot of music kind
We've
of,
got a lot of music, but you were, saying we have Q&As
Right.
with the filmmakers
which
after.
is really fun.
It's really fun, so anyone can ask the filmmaker a question. That's what's great about festivals, too, is then afterwards you go have a beer with them in the festival lounge and say, I really liked your film, tell me about you. It's all about access to the artist, too.
Right, I love it. Are we at 30 minutes yet?
No, we're about 20.
Well, what I thought is let's keep talking to Jonathan and let's talk about just our other films just real quickly. And
Sure.
then we can wrap our
Absolutely.
show up.
Yeah, do it.
But so everybody get out and go to the DIV Festival.
Right, DallasFilm.org, Dallas International Film Festival, May 3rd through May the 10th. Oh, 2 other special things.
Yeah.
We're doing a 25th anniversary screening of Jurassic Park.
Ooh.
And we're also doing the 40th anniversary screening of Animal House. We'll close the festival.
Nice.
John Landis will be here. Several of the cast members will be
Who's
here.
John Landis in
He's
it?
the director.
Director. He also directed Blues Brothers.
Blues
and a couple
Brothers.
other
Okay,
and-
because
movies from back
literally
then.
my dad, it's his Animal House is his favorite film
Well,
of all time.
you better
I'm
get
bringing it.
tickets. And we're actually going to do that off campus, as I like to say. So that's going to be at Alamo Draft House. We're in 2 theaters there.
The one in Lamar.
On Lamar,
Yeah.
and then the closing night party is at Four Corners Brewery, the brand new Four Corners Brewery, who's our sponsor, and the guys that started that, some of my buddies, and so they're our beer this year, and it's just going to be really, really fun. The new space is amazing in Cedar.
Yeah.
You gotta
How
check it out.
you're putting all this together? I hope you have a good team. It's
I like to say we're small, but we're mighty.
yeah.
And a lot of companies, our sponsors, don't just give money. Sometimes they actually, for instance, Commerce House, designed all of our materials this year. So, people are really leaning in and helping me and helping the festival, be successful. So I'm really appreciative.
Let me
of
ask
that.
you one more thing about festivals.
Yep.
This festival is not necessarily a festival where people come and buy films like Sundance or South by
Right, it's not a
Southwest,
marketplace. So to
But could
speak.
it change?
Yes, and that is part of what I've got in my noodle upstairs is
Yeah.
that. That's why I moved the festival into May, so we're not amongst a lot of other festivals.
Right.
So we're really the only major North American film festival from about May through till
So maybe you can
September.
get those buyers to come in.
And it's middle of the year, so if I think eventually we will get a marketplace here because people want to sell their films and not have to wait until the fall to go
Right.
to those. So that is part of the plan, is to have a good
Okay.
marketplace.
Well, I
here.
like that because I just think that makes the films more and more important if people come to buy
It is.
I mean, and regardless, I love a film festival, but if it's a buying film festival,
And Dallas really could be a mecca for film, all things film. I mean, I grew up in Toronto. Everyone's like, oh, the best film festival, best production. Look, 25 years ago, we were playing moose and beaver
Yeah,
documentaries,
right.
right? Like, we didn't have anything.
Right.
And now you look at it, and Dallas has all the elements to be
why
one of the
couldn't
best.
it be a Toronto or a Sundance? Or
It will
you
be.
almost
It
don't
will
want
be.
it to be so commercial like a Sundance or something,
Yeah.
though. When
I mean,
they get that way, you're just like, oh.
They do kind of lose their personality, and that's the be careful what you wish for syndrome, right?
So we'll wish for it to be halfway to close to Sundance,
We'll
but
wish
not
for
all
the
way there.
economics boost, and we'll wish that more people will bring their films here and more people will come and help filmmakers, but we'll hope to keep our own identity.
Right. I know, we'll do it. Okay, wait, just stay here and
Yeah.
talk. Let's talk a little bit more about the film festival. But we don't really, not have that many. There's no good movies out except A Quiet Place. Have you
Right.
seen anything
Yeah.
lately?
No.
Kev-
Well, Avengers comes out this
I was about to
weekend.
say
Avengers.
Avengers
Did you
is.
see it?
I saw Avengers.
Okay, so Kevin, we'll let him talk for a minute, and you chime in if you
Yeah.
want to. He saw Super Troopers
Two. Yep.
and
Two.
Avengers.
Yep.
Tell us,
Which one do you want to do first? I'm going to knock out Avengers real quick.
can you just sit here for a minute, Jonathan, while he does
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
Go for it, man.
Okay, I'm not even going to try to explain the entire backstory for Avengers because this is so much coming together. It is so convoluted, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I could spend 10 minutes just talking about where we are between Iron Man and Captain America from Civil War, and now you have Doctor Strange, and you have the Guardians of the Galaxy, and
Right.
all of these different things coming together. So I'm just going to straight out say, if you're an Avengers fan, the new Avengers is good. If you are confused by the plot and all these different things coming together, there's going to be a lot of that because there's just so much to absorb in this movie. I mean, so many details, so many characters, so much action, so much emotion for characters you may not even know that well yet. For instance, if you haven't seen Black Panther or some of the last Avengers, you may be slightly confused, but not enough to spoil the experience, I don't think in any way. It's long. If you're not into long superhero movies, it's running about 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I wouldn't like.
Which you probably wouldn't like. But if you're used to that and that kind of thing, and you loved Age of Ultron and Winter Soldier and
Right.
all of these films, then you're going to love it, and it's going to go by quick.
What did Rotten Tomatoes give it?
It's got an 88% on Rotten
Oh.
Tomatoes, so it's pretty firm. It's not as high as the original Avengers, but it is higher than Age of Ultron. It's not as high as Winter Soldier and Civil War, which
War.
I think were absolutely two of the best in the entire
Wait,
universe.
look at
so
how
to speak,
quick
yeah.
he's wrapping that up.
I know,
That
it's-
is that is
dude.
an
So,
awesome little synopsis.
Basically,
Well
if
done.
you saw Civil War, you're going to see the teaming up of the characters you like again versus one big bad played by Josh Brolin. You're going to get a lot of good stuff there, a lot of good action,
Jeff.
a lot of good emotion. It's a lot of
Kevin
fun, so
was
it's good.
a DJ. You can tell in his voice.
That's right. I'm a DJ.
But he's good. Whenever we're talking about films, I can just tell you if I like them and chat about them. But he knows how to give a good synopsis. I call it
Yes, that was
synopsis.
excellent. That was
It's-
quick.
Thank you, and that's hard. That one is hard because there's
It's
just
his
so much going
specialty.
on.
So many characters, so
It's
much
a-
going on, so many plots, subplots. If you,
Yes.
So what do you
if you
give?
haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the film or any of the universe before, is it still intelligible to someone who hasn't seen any of the films?
You're still going to be sufficiently entertained because
Okay,
they give
cool.
you enough background on Captain America and Iron Man, which are still kind of the two big ones.
Right,
People
okay.
love the Hulk and Hawkeye and the smaller characters, but those are two of the big ones and you really enjoy these characters whether or not you know them yet, just because Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Mark Ruffalo and all those people do such a
Right.
good job portraying them.
Am I going to like it? You know me.
I mean, there's just so much going on. You may say I don't get it, and
Right.
I've seen almost all these movies, and I still am kind of like
I don't think
my
I'm gonna
mind's
like
ready
it.
to explode, but it's still very entertaining.
So what are you giving it?
It's absolutely full popcorn.
Oh,
for
nice.
sure.
Full popcorn. Here we go. Pop, poppity pop.
I know
poppity
we
pop.
need to make it pop.
Yeah.
Make it
It needs to-
even.
and if it's like, is there anything above full popcorn? Like,
Oh, yeah.
if it's
Oscar-worthy.
spectacular, Oscar-worthy.
Or
okay.
we'll say full bag. I mean, full. What did I say?
Half popped, or we have back
No,
for
we'll
the
say
crust
back.
for lower.
We'll
Right.
say popcorn worthy with extra butter.
Oh, right. Extra butter.
Nice. Okay. I'm digging that.
See, I would say A Quiet Place is popcorn worthy extra butter.
Yes.
Avengers is just popcorn.
Okay.
Cool.
And then you saw.
Super Troopers 2.
What'd you think?
After the 17-year
Year
wait,
lapse, right?
I mean, it was just a long time, and I grew up, and when I was a goofy kid in high school, we loved this movie, and it became
I
a cult
love the
classic.
original one.
It's
I loved
great.
it. Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
Oh,
and
it's
I've
not your
seen
kind of
everything.
film.
I don't
It's
think
not,
so.
Yeah.
And where the second one, it is not terrible.
Right.
It picks off where the last one left off. They're not cops and where they've been fired, and they get a second chance at being Vermont Highway Patrol, basically. And where they really killed the flow of this movie is it's not a good intro. I think the best part, almost, of the original movie is that funny intro of pulling over those two stoners kids and messing with them.
is.
It's such a shining moment.
is.
And then not opening with a great intro like that throws off the whole flow of the movie. You're like, ooh, I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth. But they get rid of that taste, and you get some of that interaction with the classic stuff that you like with those characters. And it's overall pretty fun, but not as good as the original. If you like the original, worth watching. Don't pay the price for the theater. Check it out when it's on Netflix or on demand.
So what do you give it?
I hadn't really thought about it. I'm still going to call it popcorn worthy if you're a fan of the original and you like that kind of movie.
All right. So popcorn qualifies.
Yes, but if you haven't seen the original or you're not that interested, you're probably going to hate it.
What did it do on Rotten Tomatoes?
32%,
We like
which
to
is
always,
right around where the first
We
one
like
is.
to talk about Rotten Tomatoes because a lot of times what we think lines up with what they think.
Well, I agree with that. It's because it's an aggregated group of people,
Right.
And so if you really get a pretty good cross section of people reviewing it. I agree with that too.
So, but okay, so I'm not going to do a full. We'll wrap it up here. But I saw I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer, and it got like a 18%.
It got blasted.
And I completely disagree. I give it completely popcorn worthy.
Oh, you do. We were going to play that at the festival, but
Yeah.
it opened before the festival. So
It was why I liked it. It's the story of a girl, Amy Schumer, who's pretty funny, and she falls on her head, and she's just having kind of this blah life, and she's a cute girl, but just she all of a sudden feels she wished in a fountain to be beautiful, and all of a sudden she wakes up and she feels beautiful, and it just the way she carried herself, it got her all these fabulous jobs. It was so empowering to women.
It's almost like a reverse Shallow Hell.
No, it was.
right.
For a woman, I don't know why it's not doing well. I don't know if people expected Amy Schumer to be, because she's usually kind of raunchy. It's not raunchy.
Well, look at the marketing. I mean, it's barely been marketed, right? So most people don't even know it's
a good
out
point.
there.
It's
right?
very cute. It's not overly funny. It's not overly raunchy. Maybe that's what they expected from her.
Right.
It's
A sweeter outing than
it
what
is a
you're
very sweet, well done movie. It's very empowering to
I
women.
love her. I think she's fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I was talking to my girl. I tell my girls this a lot. Walk in a room, hold your shoulders back, and just own it, because they,
Right.
they're a little bit shyer. And I'm like, this is what Amy Schumer did. She would just lift her shoulders up, and she became a different person.
Right.
And she, all of a sudden, this whole new world opened up to her. So I give it popcorn worthy.
All right.
Popcorn
So
worthy.
that is that. And
Pretty even scores across the board
we
today.
have been showing clips of the films, but we put the show up on YouTube, and YouTube is like, thinks we're doing something wrong. They keep taking it down.
They keep flagging us, which for a movie review show is fair use.
Right.
because we think
Absolutely,
it's the
fair
music
use.
or something.
So yeah, it's because it's we're all hoping this will be a blip in the digital media world,
Right.
but it's because it's all done automatically. So even if you have permissions and royalties or whatever, they're going to flag you because they don't care. It's just
All
an
the
automated
podcast
process.
people are having
Right.
these problems. So
But you should be able to write them and go, hey, we're a clip
we don't
show.
get
Yes.
answers back.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get any response. It's just been very frustrating.
Yeah.
I've even had to go to copyright school through YouTube
Yes.
to get our channel reinstated.
Oh, Oh, but this was a lot of fun. I could talk
Super
to
fun.
Jonathan like for hours.
Yeah, I
You're
know,
so
I know.
interesting. We have so much in common, and I mean, you've done it all: produced, directed, acted.
I'm very, very lucky. I love what I do. I get to make a living at what I do.
I'm so happy for you.
And thank you.
I
Well,
know.
you guys, you and David have been big supporters of me since I moved here.
I know.
So it's
We-
just, it's
We
such
need
a,
to make another movie together.
I know, we really do. We gotta
I'm
figure
Glad
it
you
out.
said something because we are at 30 minutes.
I told David, it's like, I'm not investing or help producing anything else till we see how this Bomb City does. But we
right.
think it's going to make money. So
I think you are. I think
we're
you are.
happy.
It has a great score on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
Bomb City? Oh, yay. But so everybody, you can find dallasfilm.org.
Right.
Tickets to the film festival. And y'all all go. I will be there. Jonathan will be there. Kevin will be there. Come find us. And now go enjoy the movies.